Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Problematic Podcast. I'm your friendly neighborhood co-host, Rita, with my friendly neighborhood co-host, Whitney.
Salutations.
How you doing, Whitney? Salutations. I love it. I love the energy.
Hi.
I really do. How are you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
We're here. We're here. Sort of not queer, but we're here.
Sort of not queer.
You've heard those before, like we're here, we're queer,
We're queer.
We
yes,
want a light beer or something like that.
Yeah, always some weird stuff. I'm sorry I had to turn the light out because my fan was giving me some feedback. I'm not trying to be creepy.
I couldn't hear anything at all, but that is quite creepy. I'm going to turn up my my brightness of my computer.
There you go. I'm about to do the same. Just technical difficulties here. That did not work as well as I wanted it to. What if I turn it up? There we go. I'm gonna do the best I can with what I got.
I see you, friend.
I'm always improvising. Ma'am.
That's what we do.
What you been listening to, reading, watching? Give me something.
So I have actually been listening to the Libby app. Have you heard of Libby?
No.
Libby is a free app that connects to your library card.
Oh, yes, I have heard of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I've been listening to tons of audio books on there. Again, it's free and we're not advertising, but
well, we are pro library.
We are very, very pro library around here. So pro library. In fact, I have to connect it to my new library card because I don't live where I used to live anymore. But I still have the library card. So I'm like, please don't take that access away. Anyway, long and short, I just tattled on myself. Told my business out on the street.
You did it.
But yeah, lots of books. The one I'm listening to right now is Rest is Resistance.
Oh, my wife told me about that one.
The lady who created the Nap Ministry. Which come on, somebody. Listen, the Nap Ministry, yes, on like it's been raining for 85 days here.
It has. It has. It's raining currently. The rain won't stop.
It's going to rain tomorrow. It's just steady, heavy rain. I love how when we record, everything decides to make noise because now there's a truck backing up down my street.
I can't hear it.
Girl.
I can't hear it.
Oh, good. Okay. Anyway, long and the short, yes, lots of Libby. What have you been listening to?
Okay, so being on the Twitter, which has become my favorite app of all time, there was a thread about new and old jazz artists, basically just people sharing jazz because it's hard to come across new jazz. Girl,
me gusta.
A gentleman by the name of Alfa Mist, and the song is called.
Sounds like a stripper.
Okay,
it don't sound like a stripper.
Alfa is spelled ALFA. Mist.
Sorry, I was thinking
you're all
something
good.
Different.
No, I had to think about it for a second, and I'm like,
insult to this man.
That's pretty accurate.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna be quiet.
No, you're all good. Alfa Mist. It's an album. It's from the the song is from 2017. But the song's called Breathe, and it was when I was interacting with the people on the Twitters, because a couple of people shared this artist. I was like, okay, give me a song to start with. I'll download his entire catalog, but I got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
The first 30 seconds of Breathe. I don't know if you're a Marvel fan, but there's a scene in Endgame where the Hulk goes to see Dr. Pym because he's trying to get the Time Stone, I think it is. And Dr. Pym punches him in the chest and he flies out of his body. He starts having an outer body experience. I am not exaggerating. I started listening to this song casually. I put it on. I'm still scrolling. I had to turn the TV off, stop scrolling, and actually concentrate in on the song because it's almost like it gave me goosebumps just hearing how the song transitions. And I'm a huge jazz fan. I know a lot of people say they like jazz and they're more casual jazz fans, but I am a huge jazz musician fan. And oh my God, I don't know. I think I'm old. I think I've just lived with a lot of old people. No. But for anybody who was into new, current, contemporary jazz, Alfa Mist, I'm telling you to start with Breathe because Breathe is a great sample of just how talented this artist is, and the musicianship, and just all of the string elements, the bass, the piano, all of the elements just make this song so beautiful. It's perfect for a rainy day like this.
Oh.
I've been listening to it while I'm also like cleaning and making packaging labels. So all really great things. I'm encouraging everybody to check him out, because
I am putting it in my title as we speak.
I'm telling you, you are going to enjoy it. Earl's going to enjoy it too.
Oh,
I know
old.
Earl. I know he likes jazz though. Him and I have talked about jazz a few times.
Him's an old man. I will.
He is. I feel like all Southern young men are just naturally old men. Like by the time your Southern baby is 7, he's an old man.
Oh my God.
It's true.
Oh my God. You made the children elders.
Did I make them elders, or
you
did they come
elders.
here like that?
You did it. It was you.
Whitney.
Yeah?
I need to get into a few things with you.
What happened, Fred?
There's been some disrespectful things going on the interwebs, and we need to discuss it.
Ma'am, where do you want to start? I'll break out the shovel.
I'm going to start with Beyonce again. I feel like we talked about Beyonce a lot on this. Beyonce didn't do anything problematic. It's okay.
Okay. I was like, I didn't see Giselle do anything.
She didn't, but she did. I'm loving on our cousin Giselle, but I'm also dragging her a little bit too. Ma'am, stop playing with our feelings. Are we getting a Destiny's Child reunion or are we not? Because Destiny's Child, in my book, is the greatest band of all time. They are my favorite group, not girl group, not boy band. They are my favorite group. Period. Big dot. Period. In parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
Now Beyonce had her show in Houston, Latavia.
I saw them.
All 5 of the Destiny's Child members were there.
Not all 5.
They was all there. A group. Kelly with her fine self, Michelle.
She is unreal. Like how beautiful Calandria is. Like, can we get into
it? Is she not too? God was making beautiful women, and he spit. Name somebody prettier than Michelle. Michelle, Lord. Name somebody.
She's also very pretty.
She is, but name somebody prettier than Kelly Rowland.
Ain't none.
Okay, I just wanted to.
Ain't none.
But they were all there, and the rumors have been swirling. People were saying the website had been updated for Destiny's Child. Now they all together. Every time I turn around, Michelle and Kelly taking pictures together. Don't play with my emotions, because you know how y'all ran out to get those Beyonce tickets, and y'all was fighting and crying. Y'all went and rekindled with y'all exes to get the money up to get the. I've seen some things, and I've heard some things.
Oh, Savior!
Y'all spent the daycare money on these Beyonce tickets.
You have seen some things, because I ain't seen none of that.
I will sell my mama's house.
Nah, girl.
To get Destiny's Child
Don't
tickets.
make mama homeless. Do not make
I would never do that. She got a house to spare. It'd be just fine. What I'm saying is that it's very essential. I don't want to fight with none of you Gen Zs, whatever they calling themselves.
I'm not dealing with y'all.
If you don't remember the blizzard of 96, you can't come. If you don't remember where you were when 9/11 happened, I don't want to hear I was in daycare. I think you can't come. Don't pull up. You think we're gonna get a concert?
Maybe. Maybe.
I need it.
Maybe that's the Renaissance part 2. I don't know.
Now listen.
We would lose
our minds.
We would all collectively lose our minds.
And a large chunk of our paychecks. Yes.
Oh, willingly.
We out here.
We're all like naming our firstborns after Beyonce after this one.
If you ain't got a babysitter, drop that baby off at your neighbor's house, or at a playground where you think they're gonna be safe. A fire station, they'll look after it for a little while. Figure it out
before they adopt your child. Okay, all right.
Yeah, but you can go get it back after the concert. You might have to do a lot of paperwork to go stand in front of a judge, but the judge will. If you say Destiny's Child reunion, the judge will understand. No, okay. You're not here with me.
I'm not with you.
That's
I'm not
fine.
with you on that one.
That
I will continue to encourage you, but no, this one's wrong.
Thank you. That I appreciate you from. Yeah, I'm hoping that we get a Destiny's Child reunion tour. It doesn't even have to be a tour, a full tour. Give us 4 dates. 2 on the East Coast, 2 on the West Coast. I'll meet you where you at, baby. Like
People
Jesus. You laughing. I'm so
people would
serious.
lose their minds.
I'm already losing my mind
I
at the
see you.
prospect.
I see you. I see you. Let's just let Beyonce work so we could like all collectively lose our brains together because clearly something is happening in the kitchen,
Something
but we're
is
not allowed in the
happening.
kitchen. So we gotta like sit and wait to
And
see what
mind our
comes
business.
out.
That's fine. A Blue Ivy and Destiny's Child tour would be fantastic.
The children already think it's Blue Ivy show. They're like,
I,
we are Ivy League.
I
Like
saw
we
that.
are. It's so cute.
They
The
came to see
babies.
Blue.
They came to see Blue. They're like, okay, lady with the blonde hair, but this child, this
Right.
child with the glasses.
Right. This is who we're looking for.
Can I have a moment?
You sure can.
I want to talk about this specific Blue Ivy thing. And I'm debating if I'm going to write about this or not. Why does the Renaissance tour, specifically Blue Ivy's part, feel like global redemption for her? Meaning, do you remember when this child was born?
Oh, I do.
And the nasty, vitriolic,
Awful.
toxic, disgusting way people were talking about this child, her appearance, her hair.
There was always something negative to say about
Oh,
Blue Ivy.
it was disgusting to the point that Beyonce don't even show us her children anymore.
Right. We
Right.
ain't laid eyes on Rumi or Sir.
We're gonna
Can't
see
even
them
find them.
we're gonna see them when they show up for the concert, when they
Right.
dancing in the concert or singing. Um, this moment, like it just hearing the world cheer for her, seeing people go out of their way for her, seeing other little black girls, specifically little black girls, go up for her, feels like a form of redemption.
It does.
And of course it would be perfectly orchestrated by the Virgo herself, Beyonce Giselle, because of course, of course, it's like, all right, y'all have all this to say. One day y'all will be cheering for her. And
Right.
she orchestrated that entire moment. And yes, it was probably years in the making. I put nothing past her. I put nothing past her mind. And so this moment feels like such not necessarily redemption because she didn't do anything wrong to be redeemed, but it's like Beyonce and Blue got the last laugh.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. This girl
Yeah.
is one living a better life than any of her critics. I said that from the time she got here. She already has a Grammy. Do you have a Grammy? No, you don't. You don't have anything right now. So I take all of that and I think, I hope that Blue Ivy was shielded from
Please, God.
those things. I know kids have
Lord.
access to the internet a lot sooner than we ever did because there was no internet when we were that small.
Oh my
But
God, we're old.
I hope that she was properly shielded from it. But also I'm glad to see that she has an opportunity to, yes, her parents did not keep her out of the public like they've done with Rumi and Sir. And they may or may not regret that now. I don't know what's going on in that house. I don't speculate. But they're finding positive ways for her to be able to interact with all of these people who know who the hell she is, and she doesn't know these people. And it's, like you said, it's a very positive light. She's being cheered for, she's being celebrated, and I love that they've been very intentional about that. I look at Northwest, and they aren't too far apart in age. And it cracks me up because Northwest very much gets to be a child. But and again, I don't think it's bad parenting on Kim or Kanye's part. Children are addicted to cell phones. All of these children have social media, but we always see North because North is always on her phone doing something. We don't get a lot of that when it comes to Blue. We'll see her in her grandmother's TikToks, but her
telling her in the background, "You're not supposed to be recording it here, Grandma.
You doing it again, Grandma?" But I love the fact that they are being very intentional about her exposure, because it's so very important. And I just every time you can see her getting more and more confident as she dances.
Absolutely.
Her poses at the end are killing it. I love that for Blue. And again, for all you raggedy, snaggle tooth knuckle draggers who
I need
had
to
something
look
to
up.
say about her, go to hell.
I need to look up the lady who put out that petition about her hair. See if she's still around.
Y'all hate natural hair, and it's
A
so very
change.com fucking petition about a little toddler's
hair.
hair. Yeah, I'm gonna write about this. This is gonna be
Yeah,
because this
you
is like
should.
it's the words are like sitting right here. So I'm like, okay, yeah, you need to write that.
You should.
Yeah.
I'm ready to see it because I'm sorely disappointed.
Yeah, I'm enthused for Blue.
I
If she
love it.
chooses to never talk to us again, that's fine.
That's
That's your
fine.
that's your business. You got your moment. You had said multiple moments. There was one that choked me up. It was right when she got a standing ovation, but it was a long one. It was a long one. And her mama just sat there and let them cheer for her.
Beaming.
Let them cheer for her.
Look at
And
that baby girl.
I know. And she didn't stop them. You know how like normally you would keep the show, try to keep the show going.
Nah.
She's like, nah.
No, my baby getting her flowers here today.
And you could see Blue getting like
overwhelmed.
Like,
yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, you get all this, get it's all so of cute. This. Because like, think about Black girls. We don't get our won't get our flowers until we do something like extraordinary.
And usually we had to do something extraordinary for someone else.
Hello, we could talk about Coco Gauff. We could talk about Sha'Carri. We could talk about Simone.
Yes.
Black girls are just cleaning the floor. Like just wiping
racking up
are y'all eating y'all up. Yum, yum, yum. So shout out to Black girls.
Yes. Somebody says I'm very ignorant.
Oh no.
And I had to remember that I am not the girl in her 20s who can spend 30 minutes at a time arguing on the internet.
We're old.
One of you not need frappuccino vein injecting ignorant children of Eve and Adam decided to say or ask. Let me start from the beginning. You may or may not know by now that Usher is slated to be the Super Bowl act for the Super Bowl halftime show. No, just me. Well, he is the halftime act for the Super Bowl, and one of these ignorant, very weird, godless children had the audacity to ask, name 5 Usher songs. And girl, I just lost it.
Was she one of us?
Nah, she wasn't.
All right, so we don't have to dignify that with an answer. The culture declines to answer. We decline to answer. You name 5. How about that?
You do that.
Name 5.
First off, child, I don't think you were around when I was running around high school singing "Yeah" and wearing a blazer in the club with a football or basketball fitted.
None of those. None of those. You weren't singing "You Make Me Wanna" at the top of your lungs as a girl child, which you're talking about leaving a partner.
Yes, leaving a partner.
A friend.
You want to know a funny story about that specific song?
Yes, please.
So the first CD I ever bought was a Busy Bone CD, like the first full length CD.
Okay.
The first CD I ever owned was a single of Usher's "You Make Me Wanna." My dad gave it to me. He came and he had the single, and I was like, I love this song. He gave me the single. I had the single, the remix, and the instrumental. The first beat I ever rapped over when I was trying to be a rapper in middle school, swear to God, on my mama.
No.
Usher's "You Make Me Wanna." Yes. So I'm not here for the Usher slander. I
don't understand where it's coming from. Like, Usher has been popping all, not just like forever, but all year long. Yes. Beyonce's only peer.
Yeah, that's it. That's all.
Singular peer. The only person we could call Beyonce's peer is Usher.
And y'all out here, Whitney, the disrespect is killing me.
No.
Now, whether you think he's a good actor or not, R&B acts tend to be a little, but he got a lot of club music. He's got a lot of dance music. He's going to bring out guests.
It's going to be skating. You know he loves to roller skate.
He loves
He was in
roller
Philly
skating.
roller skating.
He was like, can y'all take me to this place I've heard of called Wow? I'm over there.
Wow.
He has an illustrious career lined up. And for anybody to fix their mouth to say name 5 Usher songs, I just, you know.
But they always do this with us.
Who's raising these kids?
Nobody. They're raised by random folks on the fucking internet. That's the point.
TikTok.
No one is raising these children. These children are literally just getting older. They're not being raised.
They're unhinged and I don't like it.
And uncultured, because who the hell doesn't know that Usher? We just had a global event that involved Usher literally singing to a famous woman, and how the internet melted down when they did a video together. Not one that was sexually explicit, not even one that was sexually suggestive. She was pretending to be Usher in the video. And y'all had full friggin' meltdowns. The man is he's not just relevant, he's culture shifting. What are you talking about? Again, I don't do these arguments with people who are not of the culture. And you have to prove, before you ask me to name 5 Usher songs, you name 5 Usher songs.
You name 5 Usher songs.
Cuts, please.
And nothing on the radio. My thing is, if you don't like Usher, ask Chris Brown, does he like Usher? Because he literally created a lane for the Chris Browns of the world. So the singing and dancing and taking the shirt off and hitting the body rolls, that's Usher's bag.
Okay, your faves.
Your faves, there you go. Your faves fave.
Your faves fave. Ask all the R&B boys. Ask them all.
They're gonna tell you the same thing.
Usher, yeah, girl.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna let these kids get me riled up. Who we screaming at this week, Whitney?
Oh, holy savior! All right, we're not even political. We're going straight, just cultural stuff.
Let's do it.
Why does Drake want to demonstrate Black womanhood so badly?
Oh boy, I don't have an answer for you there.
He loves, like, all he needs is a set of press-ons at this point. Like,
he was painting his nails a few weeks ago. The powder pink that I wear.
There is nothing wrong with men painting their nails. That is not what I'm saying. Like, I have no beef with any of that. I actually kind of think it's cool. I'm weird like that. I like it. I like it. No, what I'm talking about is, and this is not specific to Black women, but I don't like how he does these little things. Like, there was this random photo of him like with these hair clips, and his hair was like curly and stuff like that. And I was like, you really love Black womanhood, but be hating on Black women, and I don't like that.
My thing with Drake is the way you classify it is very mature and very enlightened. Yes. But I always say Drake wants to be the biggest bad bitch in the music industry. And I'm saying this as a Drake fan, but it's the way that he carries himself outside of music. It's so interesting. You know, he's trendy, but it's almost like his trends have to change every 2 weeks because he has to keep the eyes on him when he's not making music. And I'm just like, give us the music.
Annoying.
You want to part your... First, it was you were growing your hair. You had the heart in your hair. And I was like, okay, that's a trend.
I thought it was cute.
And I thought it was cute. And then
now the boys got their hearts in the hair. I'm like, that's cute.
Okay, it's cute. And then you grew your hair out and you had the curly hair for a while. And I'm like, okay, natural is natural. Then you gave us the Uncle Poppy braids, and I was like, okay, that's different. Then you hit us with the ballies, and I'm like, okay,
I didn't see the ballies.
Oh yeah, girl, he had ballies at the ends of his braids. I was like, this is
Black womanhood, Black girlhood.
It very much gives what like a Black influencer girl would give.
Yeah.
I just feel like Drake has always wanted to be the baddest bitch in hip hop and in pop, and it's not that I necessarily think something's wrong with it.
I didn't say that.
The multicolored hair clips, though, it doesn't look good. One, like the braids, the heart
works for you.
Yeah, and it's not working for you. Please stop. And it's not even original because a rapper whom I love named Smino had already started doing that, parting his hair in the middle and using like the bows to pin his hair back. And people have been tagging Smino and like, bro, he's copying your style. And it's like, Smino was doing it because that's how he wears his hair. Drake is
Yeah.
doing it because he saw somebody else do it. It's like,
Yeah.
bro, all
Yeah.
right, we get it. You want
No.
attention. Make some music.
But then like, all right, so I'm not, it's not like the visual stuff that like, none of that shit bothers me. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what you're doing. All right. Well, enjoy. You know me. I'm the grandmother
Yes.
on the block. It's like, all right, children, well, y'all just be safe. That's just me. Drink your water. Make sure you get some rest. Otherwise, you get bags under your eyes. That sort of thing. It wasn't until this raggedy nigga had the audacity to open up his mouth, talk about shout out to Megan, not that Megan, this Megan over here. And he was pointing at this other
Right.
Megan. And
Why?
I'm like,
Why does he keep taking shots at
in
Meg
her
Thee
city,
Stallion? Is
in
it?
her city,
Is it? Okay.
she out twerked him.
I'm done.
I
Oh
wouldn't challenge her to a twerk off.
I listen.
That back looks strong, girl.
That girl is talented. But is it because like there's some assumed beef between her and Nicki Minaj, and he's always aligned himself? I don't get what this man has to have. First off, Drake and Tory Lanez were enemies for years. They were throwing disses at each other. So I don't think I understand that they quote unquote squashed it, but I don't think it was to the point. Drake is very petty. He never lets things go completely.
Never lets things
So I don't
go.
think you were aligning yourself with Tory. Why are you taking unnecessary shots at this woman? You've already put her name in a song. You're acting out at concerts. Did she reject you, sir?
What's the actual issue, sir? Let's get to the meat and
take your
potatoes.
call? It's giving Hurt Boy energy.
I don't know what it's giving, but it ain't giving what I need in this moment. Like, sir, cut it. So when Beyonce, Giselle, called Megan and said, "Hey, girl, I'm in your city," and she said, "Oh, I was supposed to be doing this festival with Bet. I'll be in the city too."
She canceled
And
a whole
then
festival. Uh-oh.
I got misty-eyed because Beyonce looked at Megan and said, "Girl, I'm so proud of you."
She did.
And I said, Beyonce has no parents. I mean, not Beyonce. Please, Jesus, keep Beyonce's parents here.
Please.
Megan has no parents and no siblings. She's navigating this entire thing alone. And for Beyonce, like, she's not just a tastemaker. She's not just a performer, but like to her, she could be like a mentor.
Right.
To pour into her in front of thousands of people in their city after what Megan has endured, like, Black women. That's the tweet.
Mm-hmm. And somebody said on Twitter, and Lord, please forgive me because you deserve this shout out. They said it in reference to Megan.
Mm-hmm.
If Beyonce is for you, who could be against you? And I was like, nah. Come on, somebody. Yes, Lord. You better tell them on the church of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, she is a tastemaker, but she does have the ability. I feel like Megan has been under attack for years. The girl was already shot. And I've said this before, like, Tory Lanez really did a good job, and I'm not complimenting him, of mobilizing his fan base and his non-fan base. People who weren't a fan of him but just simply aligned themselves with misogyny, really jumped on board. He called into question, and I have a long memory. I did not forget when he said that girl was never even shot. Now, if you want to say you didn't do it, Tory, say that.
That's one thing.
But to try to get ahead of the story and tell people she wasn't even shot when you were fucking there that night, we also
have doctors like records.
You were there and you literally told millions of people she wasn't even shot. That's fucked up. And to see so many people aligning themselves with him and these false narratives, whether you believe he's guilty or not, he could have just proclaimed his innocence. He did not have to attack this woman. I think it's very nasty. But to see now that she's coming back out and that she has the biggest artist in the world behind her and supporting her feels great, because like you said, she didn't have family. She's at odds with her label. A lot of the people in the industry won't associate with her because you've already come out of your mouth and said dumb things because you were following behind a guy who's about to spend the next 8 years of his life in a fucked up lace front behind bars. So now you can't walk that shit back. So I don't have to do collaborations within the industry because I want a Grammy doing collaborations with Beyonce. So I'm happy to see Beyonce laying her hands on her and giving her shine. It was beautiful to see Make come out at that concert.
Kenneth Petty, since we were in that realm, sir, making threats when you're when you still the ankle monitor, like you can't even go to a teacher parent conference at your own kid's school. It's not the smartest thing to do. I would recommend you cool it, you sit out. For those who are unfamiliar or unaware, good for you. But just to inform you, right? You listen. But just to inform you, Nicki Minaj's husband, the person who she chose to marry, with his record and all, I just don't understand marrying somebody who can't even come to your kids' school to pick them up. But anyway, can't come within feet of the school, like yards probably. Had some choice words for one Offset, who was on a PJ going on vacation,
minding his business, going to football games, streaming, and releasing new music, living his best life.
Living his best, while Kenneth is absolutely the worst. And it's just like, sir, you done got yourself in trouble now. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know the legal jargon, but the man done got himself in trouble.
Making violent illegal threats while on probation, then had your freedom revoked, and now you got to sit in the house on house arrest because you wanted to threaten a man who's rich and not paying you any attention.
Zero attention, sir.
Keep paying him filth. Keep paying him filth.
Make that make sense. I got one more for you.
Let's hear it.
This one goes out to the New York Times and the Cransteins. You know the Cransteins on Twitter?
Yes.
So a recent story just dropped about Abigail Elphick. If you're unfamiliar who Abigail Elphick is, she is the Victoria's Secret Karen, the one who attacked that black lady while they were shopping like 2 years ago.
I remember.
It was a 15-minute long video. I remember it was like multiple parts, and we were all locked in, tuned in, and she was just long and the short. People are saying, no, we're judging her wrong. We're judging her poorly because this woman is actually disabled. Abigail is. Because Abigail has anxiety. I said, so do many black women. But y'all keep saying we have an attitude. And when you notice how we don't attack people, millions of people struggle with anxiety.
And we ain't out here attacking people at their jobs.
Okay. This woman, no. Because then the medical professionals, shout out to the medical professionals, because y'all be doing the things and gathering up the folks. They said that no. If she had anxiety, why was she chasing her alleged trigger? Like, if this woman was her trigger, why was she chasing her?
Explain.
For multiple minutes, like she was chasing her around the store, threatening to do harm. That is not. They were like, that's not anxiety, that's violence. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, for those who are saying like, don't judge a book by its cover. We shouldn't be trying to cancel people and stuff like that. The same behavior that Abigail did in that Victoria's Secret was the same behavior that could have got this woman killed.
Right.
Like, we've seen this over and over again.
We're not going to ignore that.
Y'all having a diabetic crisis, y'all having an anxiety crisis does not turn you into a blatant bigot and a racist.
And like, we're not going to pretend that it does.
Okay.
Child, we're going to get into these problematic letters right after a brief word from us begging you to send us in more letters. We'll be right back. We always love to hear from you at the Problematic Podcast. So if you have a problematic question or story, feel free to email us at theproblematicpod@gmail.com, or now you can text us at 267-225-4648. Again, that's 267-225-4648. Standard messaging rates apply. We love to hear from you. Now let's get into today's problematic letters. All right, Whitney, I need a lady's name. Also, give me a man's name, too. Let's keep it interesting.
This is heavy.
Oh, it is. It's a good one.
Barbara and Bob.
Not Barbara. Bob. All right. Barbara wrote.
Hi, Barbara.
Me and my son's father have always had the best parenting relationship after we ended things. He would take him every weekend, split daycare, and buy a lot of his shoes and clothes, so we agreed that there was never any reason to have a child support order. I've always been cool with his
Uh-oh.
girlfriends, and he recently moved in with someone serious. Now he misses weekends, sends my son home in clothes that don't fit anymore, and left him at daycare on his day to get him, so I had to pick him up. I don't want to assume that his new relationship is affecting his parenting, but it looks like it is. We talked about it and he acted like he didn't even care until I mentioned that we may need to go and get a court order to get orders in place for shared custody and support. Now he's trying to make it seem like I'm jealous of his new girlfriend, but I wouldn't care if he did the things he's always did. Any tips on how to handle this situation?
Barbara, I'm sorry that you're facing this. Um, as a parent of a small human, I can't imagine how that must feel. Also, if you tell your child one thing and then you have to kind of clean up for the other parent, I can't imagine what that feels like to do, and I can't imagine what that does. Well, I know what that does as a child. Like my mother had to frequently clean up after my dad. So I get it from that perspective. So I'm sorry that you have to deal with this. That's the first thing. Get the court order.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yeah.
Get it.
You know, I know there's this culture nowadays that suggests that we want to limit the involvement of law enforcement and the court system, in particular for Black men. I get the narrative. I understand. There's the systematically these systems, these courts have not been in favor of men. But you know what has to be in favor of men? Fatherhood. That's gotta be a priority. I think it's interesting. I'll say this for Barbara. If it's true that you've never had any issues with his exes, and then he moved in with a girl that he's dating, and now the situation is changing, I don't think it's unreasonable to assume that his new living situation may be creating the issue. Him suggesting that you're jealous kind of tells me everything I need to know, that it does have a lot to do with this living situation. If all else remains the same, how you leave your fucking kid at daycare? You just never come to get your kid?
Like it didn't even cross your mind.
Wow, if you've never forgotten that your child existed before,
why would you start?
Just forget this time.
Why would you start?
Skipped your mind like you usually on Wednesdays hang out with your child, and all of a sudden, I think something's missing. I don't remember.
Good puss does it.
Make you forget your kid?
To them. Not to the people who push that baby out.
Y'all who've been listening for a while know that I will never be as mature as my dear, sweet, and wonderful co-host Whitney. It's never going to happen. For those who are praying for me, thank you, but I'm actually not working to get any better.
Stop it.
So I say, if you leave my child abandoned at daycare, the next time you hear from me or see me is going to be when I'm delivering your summons or you're being served. Because there has got to be a system in place to remind you of what your responsibilities are. 100%. And unfortunately, if it has to be the courts, it has to be the courts. Because
no.
I know I get hung up on little things.
That's not a little thing. That's a frightening thing. That is frightening, because it's like, if you leave them at daycare,
okay,
where else will you leave them?
Now it's one thing you not coming to get your child when your child is in a routine of coming to see you every weekend. That's makes you a shitty human being. You're not a good person.
Yeah,
flat out. You used to be a good person. You used to be a great father, and now there are circumstances change. And just like we can give things, we can take them away. That title of good dad is gone. Because your child sitting around looking for you on a Friday and you're not showing up is devastating. And
that shit hurts.
It's very cruel behavior to do to an adult, to just leave an adult waiting for you, or to stand an adult up is cruel behavior. To stand a child up,
your kid that you promised,
is fucked up. That's one.
Tell them
that you don't treat people you love like that. One. to just forget that I fucking exist in the afternoon.
Bye.
Crazy. To send me home in clothes that are too small. How do you go from, and I don't know. I've never had the opportunity to raise a small child. But I know that, like, when I go on travel, I call and check in on my fucking cat. So she never leaves my heart or my mind, and she's a cat. She don't get on the phone with me. She won't get on FaceTime with me. But I want to make sure she eats every day.
I love my cat. Yeah, I get it.
But you still live in the same town. You've always been a very present and helpful father. And suddenly things are changing, and then you disregard them when there's a conversation to be had about them.
Right.
Yeah, girl, if this just started happening overnight, I think it's safe to assume that there may be some, and I am the person that I think, I'm gonna say this, and y'all
take can
no, y'all, because y'all about to disagree with me, and that's fine.
What you mean?
I say that it's the girls out there listening, the girls and the guys. I, for one, have never understood how you can love somebody, call them the man or woman of your life, lay down with them, make a fucking human with them, and then suddenly that love becomes so tumultuous, so non-existent that you hate each other. I have never parted a relationship and hated the person that I was dating. So I don't understand how y'all start families and then hate these fucking people. You can explain, oh, he's an asshole, she a bitch. There's nothing you can do that's going to make me go, that don't sound like the stupidest shit I've ever heard. So when people struggle to co-parent with someone that they actually used to love and like, you used to love and like, y'all used to send emojis and flowers
up till 3 a.m. No, you have to get up at 6.
You used to fall asleep on the phone with this person. Now y'all can't figure out a daycare schedule. Yeah, let's get the courts involved. Yeah, because there's no coming back from that. Forgetting that you have a child, you failing to pick up a child when that child is expecting you. I'm not sparing you the indignity, the frustration, the hurt of going through the legal system because you didn't spare my child.
Okay. Hey, depending upon the baby's age, the baby will remember.
But like, am I wrong, Whitney? You know, you're mature.
Girl, no. Girl, no, absolutely not.
I mean, I know there might be a man or two listening that goes, no, because we don't need the courts in our business.
Yes, you do. Okay. For no other reason than consistency. Like, let's say that this was a fluke, right? And things have gotten messed up. What Barbara is doing is establishing a boundary that says, hey, we're not crossing this again.
Right.
That is for the well-being of herself. That is for the well-being of their child. And what Bob needs to do is view this as a wake-up call. Say, oh, like, listen, hey, I messed up. I screwed up.
You did.
And it's not the mother's fault for wanting to protect her child. It's the father's fault for not being present, not honoring his word, not doing the things that he's supposed to do. Like, sir, why are you sending this child back with small sizes when Target is right there? Sitting right.
How does that happen? You had to dress the kid. You pulled the things out. You looked at this kid before you dropped it off.
To be fair, they be growing fast, so I get it. Like, they do. I created the Nephilim. I understand. Very large child that grows very, very quickly. At the same time, why doesn't your baby have like clothes that fit at your house, especially if you know that they've been growing very fast? Let me go ahead to Walmart, grab some of these Garanimals,
right?
Some of these interchangeable ones. Grab some warm things. If you're a fancy girl, okay, go to the Target, go get your fancy kid clothes. That's fine. I'm here for it. But that's inexcusable. Leaving your kid at daycare, inexcusable. It sounds like to me the conversation is over when they start attributing your concern as a parent as jealousy of this new girlfriend.
Right.
Like, don't flatter yourself, sir. I'm here on behalf of my child. Like, I always tell people
who was abandoned at daycare.
That part. I always tell people that I am my child's fiercest advocate. Like, you don't want to get to the boss level.
Yeah.
You don't want to get to boss level with me. Okay. So this is me establishing a boundary that we all can respect. And let's say you start playing nice and stuff like that. That's great. That's wonderful. But this is the baseline. This right here is the baseline. And if that's a problem for you, you need to review the actions that took me here.
And like Whitney said, it would be one thing if Barbara had a conversation with Bob and Bob was like, "Oh, I picked up some extra hours. I apologize. We may need to revisit the schedule because it's getting a little hard for me. I can't do weekends. Maybe I do two weekdays every week or every other weekend.
I'm back in school. Something.
This baby deserves consistency and to not be thrown out of its routine. And if you're going to throw this child out of its routine, then the child deserves a newer and better routine. But for you to make this about me being jealous of your girlfriend,
okay, girl, like what are you talking about?
You could have sent your girlfriend to go pick my child up from daycare, but
somebody needed to pick up the baby.
So right. So yeah, no, Barbara, as your problematic friend here, get the courts involved. I think it's better. I know men often say, once you're in the system, you're there for 18 years and it can be hellacious. And I believe them. I don't think that they're lying when I say that. I think a lot of them want to skirt their responsibilities and being held accountable for 18 consistent years disgust them. However, if this was a person who was readily involved before, I'm sure you'll have no problem with your fixed visitation and custody schedule and your fixed contribution financially to this child.
Right.
It sounds like a win-win for everybody, but more importantly, a win-win for the kid involved.
Who is the person who matters the most in this conversation?
Yeah.
Like, let's just be honest. Like, let's just be real. The kid should be central to this conversation. And if we're not talking about the well-being of our child, like regardless of how things went in the past, you have demonstrated that you are inept with maintaining our routine. And then on top of it, have the audacity to try to insult me by saying I'm jealous, as opposed to seeing, hey, this is what a good parent does. A good parent steps in on behalf of the child. A good parent reminds you of your responsibilities towards this child, because the kid can't do it. You have to do it as the parent. And it sucks that this person had to take you there, Barbara. I'm sorry about that. But Bob needs to get his act together, because here's the thing. Kids remember.
They do.
Kids remember, and they get it in their head. They're resilient and they're tough, but you shouldn't push them to their resilience and their toughness, because they'll remember the things that hurt them. Like, just because they're tough doesn't mean they're not hurt. That's very different. Just because they're resilient doesn't mean that those hurts don't do something to them in their cerebrally. So like, let's just get the court order. No more discussions, because you talked about what you talked about. He responded the way he responded. Next time you see me, this is what we're doing.
It'll be on a docket in court to help you manage your schedule.
And it's not, also, this is not a punishment either.
Right.
If he's trying to act like this is a punishment, then he's really immature, because this is not a punishment, because y'all have not been together for some time. And this is to say, hey, here's the evidence of this. You got small clothes on my kid. You're leaving them at daycare. You're foregoing your responsibilities. Here's the things that say I'm jealous. There's no list there.
Right.
There's no list there.
There's no list here.
There's no list there. So you can try to attribute it. You could do the bullshit thing that men like to do, is they go, women and their emotions. That's bullshit. Like, let's be logical about this. The logic is, you're not handling your responsibilities. Here's how we get you to do so.
We'll assist you in the courts. Yeah, Barbara, I do hope it gets better, because that's for you, of course, but also for your child, because to have a consistent present father is a beautiful thing, and to have that snatched away from you is just disgustingly cruel. So I'm hoping that you and your child find a way to press forward with this child's father and to figure it out. But yeah, girl, I think and this happens a lot. People write in, and I think they already know what they need to do. But here's some advice.
Back you up.
Yeah, we backing you up. Go if he is no longer interested in maintaining a schedule that benefits your child, allow the courts to make him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
best I got for you. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say the same thing if it was a woman. It has nothing to do with gender. It has everything to do with a child. Because I can't imagine being left at school. That would. Barbara, wishing you the best. I hope that you do follow up with us. Let us know how your court proceedings go. And yeah, any
Yeah.
last words, Whitney?
Y'all be out. Y'all drink your water.
And mind your business. You
Please.
remember that one without the other doesn't give you clear skin. You got to do both.
Yeah,
Drink.
and mental health issues does not make one racist.
Oh, thank you. I ain't never heard of. I
No,
ain't never heard of that.
no. Abigail was being racist,
She
y'all.
was
I'm sorry. My mind keeps going back to because I'm
because
like,
it's so
y'all will do
disgusting.
anything to defend a white woman. Y'all will do anything to defend a
She
white
had
woman.
anxiety. That's okay. I'm gonna do something stupid,
Did
and
you see
it's
how she acted? She gave me anxiety.
yes. That's okay. I'm gonna do something stupid. And every time I do something stupid, I'm like, but I have anxiety. So it's cool. Right.
No. And don't be a petty bitch.
Please. That's easy. Drink your water, mind your business. Don't be a racist. Don't be a petty bitch. That should be like
Boom,
baseline.
boom.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you back here next week.